Despite the costly USSD acquisition fee of 60 million Ugandan shillings and alignment with the microfinance regulations, guidelines are introduced for digital lenders in Uganda. These cover consumer protection, legitimate funding sources and standardization, aiming to improve the digital credit landscape. The Bank of Uganda emphasizes collaboration with regulators, while UNCDF aims to connect the underserved Ugandans with digital lenders for a harmonized ecosystem.
We have brought together the different players to a round table whereby we discuss pertinent issues that affect, one, the lenders, two, and above all, the customers, because many customers have lost their funds in schemes that are not clear. So we are trying to help government to regulate fully and work towards having a complete and holistic regulated lending culture, and we cannot downplay the emergence of
in isolation. BOU, UMRA, UCC, CRB, because CRB is a player and not a regulator, that we are working in isolation. I want to believe that we've tried to work together. There is no clear policy. The regulations do not ensure protection, enforcement of existing laws. As we can see, all of us, most of these issues raised by stakeholders are centered around regulatory environment. It's my hope, therefore, that this guideline will
align to anti-money laundering. We want to see where this money is coming from. Is this money safe? It is a policy that they should get still approval from the Financial Intelligence Authority, because they have to apply with the anti-money laundering requirements, so the law in place. So these guidelines are also to ensure the consumer protection. I know the public has been hearing so much public outcry of different apps, how they are maybe extorting data, calling different people within your phone. Whoever didn't get to know that you're borrowing money using an app, they get to know that you have really borrowed and maybe you have not yet paid. I call upon the digital lenders to review their applications on actually having that consent from customers where they can access your...
Digital lenders claim telecoms overcharge in withdrawal fees, sparking debate. Nelson Chituka insists government should regulate telecoms to reduce charges, affecting lenders' ability to offer low interest rates.
Digital lender will lend you at less than 10% unless you guys go and tell the telcos that for these kinds of transactions, you cannot charge what they charge. I'll give you another example. If somebody pays 2 million shillings, the fees that the MNOs will charge is 80,000. Yes. Now, what happens with banks is banks use RTGS and EFT. If I send 20 million shillings, the maximum that they will charge me is 10,000 shillings. So the real issue is not with us digital lenders. The real issue is, the president always says that to reduce the cost of goods in Uganda, reduce the cost of electricity. So to reduce the cost of electricity, you go and look at Umeme, go and look at UTCL and say, you guys, what are you charging my manufacturers? For us digital lenders, our costs are in the cost of moving the money. And we are feeling that these MNOs, the Airtels, the MTNs are taking too big a chunk for what they do. You cannot take 10% or 6%.
NCB banks that are behind, the MTN Momo kind of, digital loan need to inform, and I think they are doing their best to inform customers. But as I said, MTN provides the environment to Jumos, to all those digital lenders, all of them. They use the Clinic Pesa, for example. They use the MNO infrastructure to reach customers. Without the MNOs, they cannot operate. They cannot exist. There's no digital. Yeah, so MNOs actually plays a very significant role. Now, for us at CRB, our job is to collect vast range of data to help digital lenders make a data-driven, informed lending process. So we make sure that they have enough data to... Their cost of operation is high because of the telecom company, but that is a discussion we shall have with our colleagues from Bank of Uganda, because they are the regulators of the payment system companies, and we see how it can be done. However, it is a discussion because this is a win-win situation. It is a negotiation between
the provider now, that is the telecom company, are doing maybe the automated deductions and the licensed digital lender. So it is a win-win situation on how they can decide to collaborate and see, and they negotiate on that interest which is being charged, or that the fee which is being charged. If it has something to make them raise their interest rate, it is also revising on how.
NITAU strongly warns digital money lenders to adhere to the law of first fines up to 2% of their annual gross income and potential imprisonment.
Collaborating with us to guide them on how they can comply with the other aspects on collection. Otherwise, if they don't, the penalties are high. One, they can be fined up to 2% of their gross annual turnover, but also the individuals can be imprisoned between 3 months to 10 years for violating the law.